I've just been on holiday to Mallorca, so let's rebuild Real Mallorca in FC25. Now, Real Mallorca did finish 10th in real life in the La Liga, which is a very respectable league finish. However, despite over 100 years of proud history, Real Mallorca's trophy cabinet is pretty barren. They have only won one Copa del Rey and one Spanish Super Copa, along with a handful of lower league trophies. I think it is pretty safe to say that Real Mallorca fans are pretty starved of trophies at the minute. So I think it's time to add some trophies to that Real Mallorca trophy cabinet, as today we are jumping into FC25, taking charge of Mallorca with the ultimate end goal of winning them a Champions League trophy. But lads, I am really going out of my comfort zone for this video. You guys have been loving the realistic rebuilds recently, so we can only make realistic transfers, or at least try to anyway. But my knowledge of La Liga and Spanish teams really isn't the best. So keeping this rebuild realistic is going to be a big challenge for me. And how do realistic rebuilds work on this channel? We cannot sign anyone who is higher rated than our current highest rated player. Now, Real Mallorca's highest rated player is left midfielder Sergi Dada at 81 rated. So for season 1, we are stuck to signing players 81 rated and below. But on initial inspection, Real Mallorca do actually have a decent squad. Obviously, they've got the one player over 81 rated in Dada. They've got a really good right back in Pablo Mafio and a really exciting CDM Samu Costa, who I'm yet to use in FC25. But there is one thing that's really jumping out at me. Pretty much all of Mallorca's best players are either over 30 or touching 30. This could be a problem going forward. As we can see, they have got a very old squad. But literally most of the good players at the squad are over 25. When we get to under 25, we don't really have many players who we can really build a team around. I mean, in this entire squad, there are only 8 players under 25, so one goal I'm going to have for this rebuild to definitely bring the average age of the squad down. But a lot of work to do already in this rebuild, boys. It's not going to be easy. This is how the starting 11's looking on paper as we enter the rebuild. Now, they have got 2 players out injured, Mafio and Asano. Looking at all this team, lads, as we scroll through, I'm really concerned. Everyone seems to be over 30. One thing I am quite happy about is the formation. I'm not going to change this formation. But going into season 1, lads, we are definitely going to need signings, and we have to bring the average age of this squad down. Now, the first position I want to improve is going to be attacking midfield. Rodriguez is 36-year-old. We're going to look to bring in a younger replacement for Rodriguez. I'm also going to be looking for a CDM, as Mascaral is 75 rated, 32-year-old is not good enough. And I'm also going to be on the hunt for a left back as well. Mojica, 32-year-old, 77 rated, not going to get much better. So I think attacking midfield, CDM and left back are priorities for season 1. We need to see how much money we've got. And the transfer budget we have got to revitalise this Mallorca team in season 1 is €9 million. So that's the Real Mallorca rebuild over. Thank you for watching, lads, and I'll see you in the next one. What are we going to do? There's so much work to be done with this team. We're going to head out into the transfer market with this abysmal amount of money, and it's going to be frees and loans, lads. I think for the first season we're going to try and keep it as realistic as possible. Now, before we make any signings this season, one thing that's going to be very important for Mallorca if we're going to get terrible budgets, it's going to be the youth academy, boys. We've already got some really exciting young players in here, as you can see, especially Jamie Prieto. He's going to go out on loan this season. And as you know, we will be scouting nations recommended by you guys, so get your comments in the comment section down below. So boys, signings have been made, 3 to be exact. I think we have managed to keep these quite realistic, and I will, as always, give my reasonings behind the transfers. So the first player we signed was a young left back, Jesus Vasquez of Valencia, for €3 million. 22-year-old, 72 rated, really decent young left back, and potentially grow into a really decent player. He's only played 60 games in 5 seasons for Valencia, including 19 games last season. He could be someone who looks to move on to further their career, and he is going to get a lot of game time at Mallorca. The next signing, I think, is once again pretty realistic. Dion Lope has just been relegated to the Segunda Division with Almeria. He is 23-year-old, 76 rated, with really good stats. He looks like a really promising young CDM. We've signed him for €11 million. Do think this is a pretty realistic transfer for Real Mallorca. Then we made a very exciting free agent signing, Tony Fluck, 24-year-old, 78 rated attacking midfielder with really good stats. He's had an amazing season in Croatia, getting 10 goals and 10 assists, and I do think a team in the top 5 leagues will take a chance on Tony Fruck if he was a free agent. So why not take a chance on him with Real Mallorca? He's going to be one of our star players going into the new season. And now a lot of work is going on behind the scenes. We're trying to sell some of our older players and loan some of our younger players out. We have already sold Sibe van der Heyden and Takumo Asano for a combined 10 million euros. More players will be leaving. But as of right now, we've got 1 million euro in the bank. There will be no more incomings this season. That's going to be our transfer window done. But with our new signings added to our starting 11, this will be the Real Mallorca team to take us into the new season. By bringing in the likes of Fruck, Lope and Vasquez, we have managed to bring the average age of our starting 11 down pretty significantly, which was a big goal of mine. Do also like our bench as well. It is nice to start a rebuild with some options. And this starting 11, boys, is now locked in for season number 1. I think we've done some really smart business in the first transfer window. Can't lie, lads, I completely forgot that we've not actually picked a tactical preset. I think given the fact that in terms of La Liga, we haven't got the strongest squad as of right now, we are going to go with the counter-attack system. Now, as we know, we always use your recommendations when it comes to our youth scouting, and I have had a comment to scout Belize. However, I don't think Belize are actually in FC25. So instead, we are going to scout the bordering nation, Guatemala. And as you know, in season number 1, we are always looking for goalkeepers. Now, there's been one more cash sale in this transfer window. Abdon Prats has left the club. He's gone to America for 2.5 million. And we have also loaned out 2 of our academy graduates and Mark Domenech. Hopefully, they'll come back fighting for first team football after getting some valuable minutes. However, this is going to round off our transfer window. I think we've had a very, very good one. So for me, there's nothing left for us to do but simulate forward straight through to the end of the first season. And I'm pretty intrigued to see how our new look Mallorca team actually gets on. So we have arrived at the end of season number 1, lads, and I cannot lie to you, I was not expecting to see this. We have actually finished 5th in La Liga. Yes, that's right. 5th in La Liga, winning 21 games, finishing on 70 points, only 1 point off a Champions League place. And this means for season number 2, we have secured Europa League football. Was I sleeping on this Mallorca team? Maybe, lads. Well, evidently I were, because we've just finished 5th in the league. But there would be no trophy added to our trophy cabinet this season. We lost in the Copa de España round of 32 to Atletico Madrid, who beat us 3-2. So we have had an excellent season, and our squad definitely has shown a lot of growth. New signings Vasquez, Lope and Fruck have shown really substantial growth, along with players like Costa and Navarro. This team's looking strong on paper. However, we do need reinforcements, otherwise we could get embarrassed in the Europa League. I think a centre-back is going to be our top priority heading into season number 2. I want to solidify that back line. And our striker, Marique, is 32-year-old and 79 rated. I do anticipate he will start to decrease in overall in season number 2. I think we need to bring a young striker who we can build the team around for future seasons. Now, we only got 9 million euros in our first season, so I'm really not expecting a big transfer budget. We may have to do a little bit of basement shopping, looking for loans or free agents. Hopefully the Mallorca board actually give us a decent budget this time to meet our targets. And we've got players retiring at the end of the season as well, which doesn't really help us out. Omar Mascaral and Anthony Riallo, 2 absolute stalwarts, will be retiring. We probably could do with replacing these 2 players as well, as we don't have too much depth. But in terms of the stats, Bernat Marique was fantastic this season, getting 22 goals and 6 assists. I just feel like he'll start to decline if we don't replace him soon. So we have arrived in season number 2, and talk about going from one extreme to another. We have got 62 million euros to improve our team, which is a massive amount of money. This is going to go a really long way to help get us on the right track and prepared for the Europa League. The highest rated players at the club are still Sergi Dada, and Samu Costa has joined him. They're both 81 rated. That means in this transfer window, once again, we cannot sign anyone who is above 81 rated. Now, we do also have quite a few contracts to renew, and we need to keep hold of some of our better players in this transfer window, especially players like Dion Lope, Sergi Dada, and Samu Costa. If bids come in for these players from huge Champions League clubs, we may be forced to sell. I just really hope that's not going to be the case come the end of the transfer window. So we have made 4 new signings in this transfer window, and I think every single one significantly improves the level of our team. We did bring in 2 free agents for squad depth. Let's kick kick things off with Enric Lansana. Joins the club on a 4-year deal, 25-year-old, 74 rated. He is a decent little squad player on a free, can't complain. The second signing of the summer was Julian Biancon, another free agent, 26-year-old, 75 rated centre-back. Once again, on a free, can't complain. He'll do a job for us. So the first cash signing of season number 2 was a striker. Luimo Boas Santos joins the club from an Argentinian side, I think. One from the scouts list, to be fair. 79 rated, 26-year-old, really good striker. Younger than Marique, and we only signed him for 16 million euros. And at 26-year-old, he's still got quite a bit of room to grow. Not going to talk about realism. He absolutely would jump at the chance to play in the Europa League. Now, the next signing, I can't lie, is a bit of a risk. Las Palmas was relegated to the Segunda Division, so we raided them for one of their star players, Micah Marmol, a left centre-back. 25-year-old, 79 rated, excellent centre-back. A lot of room to grow still as well. We have paid 30 million euros for his services. If we want to significantly improve Mallorca, though, do well in the Europa League, maybe challenge for the Champions League, we need to invest, and I think Marmol is an excellent investment for the club. No way he would be playing second division football in Spain. Now, we are still left with 10 million euros, but we won't be signing anyone else in this transfer window. However, we could see some players leave who could need replacing. It's all dependent on what clubs make what bids for which players, if that makes sense. So with our new signings added to the starting 11, this will be the Real Mallorca team to take us into season 2 and our first in the Europa League. This is a very strong team on paper. Every transfer window, we are slowly working the average age of the squad down as well. This starting 11 is now locked in for season number 2. Really happy with the squad we've built in just a short amount of time. And heading into the new season, we do actually have a solid bench with an option in every position. Definitely lacking a backup winger. That's something we can address in future seasons. So we're now at the end of the transfer window, lads, and I can't lie, it's been very quiet. 2 young players have gone out on loan. We've also sold Miguel Yan Salas for 550 grand. That's literally it, lads. No other business has taken place. That means our transfer window is done for another season. We've managed to retain all of our starting squad. So for me, there's not really much more we can do but simulate forward straight through to the end of season number 2. We've got an exciting season in the Europa League coming up. Let's see how Real Mallorca get on. So we have arrived at the end of season number 2, lads, but I want to move away from the league table for a minute because some very significant stuff has happened. Do you remember how I said we had qualified for the Europa League last season? Turns out, lads, we actually qualified for the Champions League, which is insane. I don't get how though, because we actually finished 5th in the Liga, but we finished 25th out of all the sides, lads, finishing, unfortunately, in a position where we was immediately dumped out of the competition, but I'm not bothered at all, lads. This is a massive achievement for Mallorca. And now we have to try and work towards getting back in the Champions League and improving in the Champions League. Now, before we get onto the league table, some very significant transfer news happened in mid-season. Lads, we got a bid of 27 million euros come in for Sergi Dada from PSG. No way I could reject that bid, lads. Unfortunately, at the time, our best player was sold to PSG, but he has dropped by 3 overalls. He's 33-year-old now, 79 rated, and we got 27 million euros for him. Looks like we got an excellent deal here, and obviously, boys, he would need replacing. We headed over to Argentina to sign youngster Thiago Fernandez for 25 million euros, pretty much reinvesting all of the Dada money. 79 rated, 23-year-old, rapid, and I mean rapid, and a great player on paper. He is someone we can build the team around in seasons to come and injects a bit of youth to our side. But let's finally check the league table and how did we do in season number 2. Well, we finished 6th, lads, which, do you know what? I'm happy with. Another good season, qualifying for the Conference League, if we actually have, because we finished 5th last season and got Champions League. Are we going to get Europa League next season? Are we going to get Conference League? I don't know. 65 points achieved, 18 wins. We slightly regressed from last season, and now our short-term goal is just to get back into the Champions League. And now the team is looking very strong on paper. Obviously, we're going to have to bring in the new left back in season number 3 as Vasquez. Has been a good player for us. He's not going to cut it if we want to progress Mallorca further. Now, our best 2 players are Marmol and Costa. I'm going to attempt to give them both massive wage increases to try and keep them with us for another season. We've got a really good team now on paper though, lads. I do think we're 1 or 2 signings away from competing for the Champions League every season. I just really hope, come the end of the transfer window, my primary goal is just to have Costa and Marmol still playing for Mallorca. And in terms of stats, Luimo Boas Santos was absolutely incredible. 33 goals goals in 47 games. What a signing he's turned out to be, including 28 league goals. He could be someone who the bigger clubs come circling for, and it's clear to see that he's carried us, lads. Fruck and Navarro got a decent amount of goals, but once again the rest of the squad just could not score. We need to start adding more goals from our midfield. That is a fact. So we have arrived in season 3, and the Mallorca board are pulling out all the stops to get us back in the Champions League. They've given us 74 million euros. This is a fantastic budget. Let's get to work in this transfer window. Now, our highest rated players at the club are Samu Costa and Micah Marmol at 84 rated, meaning in this transfer window we cannot sign anyone who is above 84 rated. Lads, what a busy transfer window we have had. Unfortunately, we have had a high profile player sale, but this has enabled us to completely revamp our squad. I think we're in an excellent position to press on into season 3 and try and get back into the Champions League. Unfortunately, boys, Samu Costa has been sold to Bayer Leverkusen. They bid 60 million euros for his services. No way we could reject this money. It's a chance for Costa to go and play back in the Champions League. He's a Champions League level player. So that's Dada and Costa lost in the space of 6 months. Two of our best players. It's only right we go on a bit of a spending spree after that, isn't it, lads? But we have also made one other sale. Johan Majica has left the club for 500 grand. Now on to the 5 new signings joining us heading into season number 3. We signed 2 backup players to fill out our bench. The first being striker Samed Bazdar from Real Zaragoza. 10 million euros for his services. 23-year-old, 76 rated, really decent stats. He is a young player who can still develop and is also a decent backup striker. I then felt like we were lacking a real quality backup winger, so we signed Luis Miguel Angulo from over in Argentina. 23-year-old, 77 rated, can play left mid and right mid. Really decent stats as well. Signed for 20 million euros. He is a solid backup winger. We were then in for a left back, lads, and I was thinking, I want to sign someone with La Liga experience, so we signed Javi Lopez of Real Sociedad for 22 million euros. 25-year-old, 79 rated, really good player. He is currently in-game second choice at Real Sociedad. We're bringing him to Mallorca so he can be first choice, and hopefully he can help get us into the Champions League. So that's left back sorted, which was a priority. We now need to bring a centre back in. Well, we brought in Joel Ordonez from Club Bruges for 29 million euros. His contract was expiring in 12 months time. I felt like this was a perfect chance to snipe him from Club Bruges' nose. 23-year-old, 80 rated, 6'2", immense physical stats. This guy's a monster, and I do think he would be tempted to join a top 6 side in La Liga over Club Bruges. And now onto our marquee signing of season number 3. It's Costa's replacement. We had to go all out and show our fans we mean business, as we have brought Santiago Heze in from Olympiacos for 29.5 million euros. 82 rated, 25-year-old, excellent defensive midfielder. He only had 12 months left on his deal at Olympiacos, meaning we had a window of opportunity to sign him, and we have signed him from under their nose. I do think this is a realistic transfer. Let's not forget we are a top 6 side in La Liga. We have massive pulling power, and Heze is our 5th and final signing of the season. Now, more players have left. Players like Mark Domenech, Tony Lato, both sold for about 5.3 million. 2 more youngsters in Jaime Prieto and Miran Radovic have been sent out on loan as well. Could be 1 or 2 more player sales, lads, but I wouldn't really keep your eye out for it. We are trying to keep the bulk of our squad together heading into season number 3, and I think we've had a fantastic transfer window. So with our new signings added to the starting 11, this will be the Mallorca team to take us into season number 3. This is a very strong team on paper. With Fernandez and Heze joining us, I think Dada and Costa have been adequately replaced. I think this team has got a genuine chance to finish in La Liga's top 4. So we're not really looking to sell anyone else. If any big bids come in for our key players, I will let you know. But as of right now, our transfer window is officially finished, and that means our starting 11 for season number 3 is officially locked in. We are now simulating forward straight through to the end of said season. And you know what, lads? I don't know what to expect. Let's just see how this exciting Mallorca team gets on with our 5 new signings. We've arrived at the end of the season, lads, and it's another 5th place finish for Real Mallorca on 61 points, 11 points off the top 4. We are currently struggling to break into that top 4, and it's being shown. 5th place finish, a 6th place finish, and another 5th place finish. Last time we finished 5th, it did bring us Champions League football, so hopefully that happens again next season. Got to get the signings right because I really want to start cracking into this top 4 and winning trophies. If only there was a trophy we could win that would guarantee us Champions League football. That's right, Right, lads, we have won the Europa League. We have beaten Marseille 2-0 in the final, adding a Europa League trophy to our trophy cabinet, which was a big thing for this rebuild. I really wanted to win Real Mallorca some more trophies, and the Europa League is almost as good as it gets. What a trophy this is to win. This guarantees us Champions League qualification for season number 4. And trophies are like London buses. Once one comes, another one is right round the corner, as we have won the Copa de España as well, boys, beating Real Madrid 3-2 in a thrilling final. That's a Copa de España added to our trophy cabinet. 2 fresh shiny new trophies for Real Mallorca. This season has been a roaring success, and this is a double winning Real Mallorca team, and it's looking fantastic on paper. Everyone in the starting 11 is now above 80 rated, and our bench is looking pretty strong as well. And it brings the question, lads, where do we need to improve this team in season number 4? I think what's going to really elevate our team to the next level is bringing in a world-class goalkeeper. Now, the highest rated player at the club is Micah Marmol at 86 rated, so next season we'll not be able to sign anyone who is higher rated than 86 rated. Hopefully there'll be a really good goalkeeper out there we can sign. I think being in the Champions League will open doors for us to sign really high quality players, and after we've signed a goalkeeper, dependent on how much money we have remaining in the bank, I think we are lacking a real quality winger, as Fernandez and Navarro just aren't really growing at a nice rate. I can bring a world-class winger in and a world-class goalkeeper, going to give us a better chance of getting into the top 4 consistently. And in terms of stats, Luimo Boas Santos had an amazing season, 34 goals and 8 assists, but we had a lot of goals scored this season. Tony Fruk and Thiago Fernandez scored so many goals, both well over 20. Our output in front of goal has shot up massively this season, but we were really carried by these 3 players. Not a lot of goals scored at all by the rest of the squad. So we have arrived in season number 4, and this is a massive transfer window for the football club. It's a good job the board have given us a whopping 102 million euros to improve our team. So boys, left winger and goalkeeper have been acquired, and let me just say, I am so excited about these 2 signings. And believe it or not, lads, these 2 players have actually come from 2nd division side. We went to the Bundesliga 2 to sign Lasse Ziegler from Hamburg for 42 million euros. He's 82 rated, 20-year-old with amazing stats. He looks like such a good young goalkeeper. I'm hoping he's going to develop at a really nice rate, ultimately be our endgame goalkeeper. This next signing does come with a little bit of risk, as I do think better teams may have signed him, but guess what? They haven't, so we have. Abdel Fatewu is in from Fulham for 55 million euros. 24-year-old, 83 rated, rapid, really good stats. Got a good price for him as well, to be fair. Fulham had been relegated to the Championship. We have acted fast to bring their star player to Mallorca. He's a huge upgrade in the right midfield position. He's a fantastic player, and of course he'd want to play in the Champions League in sunny Mallorca. And there's been other activity as well, boys. We have sold a few players. Antonio Sanchez, David Lopez, Javier Labrez have all been sold for around 10 million. We've also loaned out a couple of our younger players, and we are now left with 5 million euros in the bank. There could be 1 or 2 more outgoings. We do have quite a big squad, but our 2 primary transfer targets have been acquired. We're in a great position to attack the Champions League in season 4. And with our new signings added to the starting 11, boys, come on, this team is looking amazing on paper. Really excited to see how we get on in the Champions League this season. I think we've built a really young, fast, energetic, exciting team. I'm not worried about losing any of our players, because we're currently a Champions League side. We've just won the Europa League, and I'm confident we'd be in a position to keep all of our best players. This starting 11 is now locked in for season number 4. What a team it is. Do you know what, boys? The bench isn't bad either. Could be in for a very exciting 4th season as Mallorca boss. So season 2 kicks off with a 4-2 defeat to AC Milan, our arch rival in FC25, in the UEFA Super Cup. Looked like a competitive game, boys. They were just more clinical. Would have been nice to add the trophy to the trophy cabinet though. And now, to be honest with you, boys, our transfer window is officially done. No one else is leaving and no one else is joining the club. We are now going to simulate forward straight through to the end of season number 4. How are we going to perform in the Champions League? So we have arrived at the end of season number 4, lads. How did our exciting Mallorca team get on? Well, we actually finished 2nd in the league on 83 points, which is massively impressive. Scoring 82 goals along the way and winning 26 of our games, securing Champions League football again for season number 5. Finishing above the likes of Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. This is a seriously impressive season. However, we were still 8 points behind the eventual winners Real Madrid, who are just in a league of their own, it has to be admitted. Promising signs, lads. Let's check the cup competitions. And in the Super Copa, lads, we took on Atletico Madrid and just just look at how entertaining these semi-finals were. Real Madrid won El Clasico 4-3. We lost to Atletico 5-4. No shame in losing an absolute thriller like that. But it would be heartbreak once again in the Copa de España as we reached the semi-final and lost to Barcelona 3-2 over 2 legs to set up an El Clasico final. As we were also knocked out of the Champions League in the round of 16, losing a very close tie to Borussia Dortmund 3-2 over 2 legs. Back to the drawing board, lads. We've got to make some signings in Season 5. At the starting 11 though is looking very strong. We've had some substantial growth all across our team, but there is one major weak link in this starting 11 that needs to be addressed in season number 5. Lopez had a season-ending injury in September, a ruptured Achilles, which meant he missed 9 months out injured. He's dropped to 79 rated at 27-year-old. He has to be replaced in season 5. And I'm also looking to bring another fullback in, lads, but this time it'll be a right back. Pablo Maffio is 31-year-old and 83 rated. He is an absolute stalwart and an amazing player, but he's reached his ceiling, lads. He's not going to get much better. We're going to be in the market for a left back and right back in the upcoming transfer window. I think we're going to get a big budget. And on to the stats, lads, and Luimo Boas Santos, we have really unearthed the gem here, lad. 36 goals and 18 assists in all competitions, including 24 goals and 12 assists in La Liga. He has been absolutely amazing this season. And Abdel Fattah turned out to be an amazing signing, getting 25 goals and 6 assists. So we have arrived in season number 5, lads, and I have to say the Mallorca board have been so good to us in this rebuild. They've given us 117 million euros to revamp our fullback positions. Let's get to work in the transfer window. So, lads, 3 new signings have been made heading into season number 5. I'm really happy with the positions that we've filled. But let's kick things off with a surprise free agent signing. I felt like we were lacking depth in the attacking midfield position, so we signed Ismail Assar on a 2-year deal. He's 31-year-old, 77 rated, still absolutely rapid. I think he'll be a decent backup player to have on the bench, and he can also play on the wing. Now, on to the fullbacks, and it was pivotal we got these signings right. We brought in Filippo Teresiano from Parma for 38 million euros. 26-year-old, 82 rated with really good stats. Can also play as a right back as well, which is massive. Big upgrade on what we already had in the left back position, and him coming from Parma to a Champions League level side, I'm 100% certain this signing's realistic. And now onto the right back we signed, and I can't lie, lads, I was thinking we were lacking some Spanish players in our starting 11. That's why we brought in Arnau Martinez from RB Leipzig for 48 million euros. He's 26-year-old, 84 rated with absolutely incredible stats. He can also play as a centre back and right midfielder. He is an excellent player, and I see no reason at all why he would not want to move back to the Spanish Isles and join our exciting project here at Real Mallorca. And I tell you what, boys, heading into season number 5, our starting 11 is now looking incredible on paper. A team full of world-class players. I'm really excited to see how this team gets on in season number 5, and our starting 11 is now officially locked in for the new season. Look at how strong our bench is heading into season number 5. Only 2 players on that bench are below 80 rated. Has to be said, lads, we're looking at probably a 4.5-star squad here. To be honest with you, unless a huge club like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich come in for one of our players, I think we're going to be pretty much safe to keep all of our star players. Let's simulate forward straight through to the end of the season, as our transfer window is now done. This could be a very successful season for Mallorca. So we've arrived at the end of the season, lads, and it's a 3rd place finish for us in La Liga on 73 points, winning 21 of our games and securing Champions League football again for season number 6. But again, we are no closer to bridging the gap to the top of the league, and that is pretty disappointing. But beating Barcelona 4-1 in the Supercopa final definitely isn't disappointing. That is another trophy added to the Real Mallorca trophy cabinet. But we couldn't win the Copa de España, boys. We were beaten in the quarterfinals by Alves. But lads, we have actually made the Champions League final, and we are taking on Eintracht Frankfurt. This is a bit of a mad final. So, our run to the final was very weird, I have to say. We finished 20th in the league phase. Frankfurt finished 8th to be fair, so 2 teams you would not have expected to get to the final have done, which meant we had to play a playoff, but we battered RB Salzburg 7-2 over 2 legs, which would then set up a tie against Atalanta, and it was a thrilling game, lads. Won the first leg 2-0, lost the second leg 4-2, and then won the tie on penalties, beating Atalanta 5-3. 4. We will then go into the quarterfinals and take on Liverpool and win 1-0 in both legs, securing a 2-0 win overall, before heading into the semi-finals where we took on Real Madrid. But after winning the first leg 2-1, we would draw the second leg 2-2 and win the tie 4-3 over 2 legs. And that means it's an unlikely final of Frankfurt versus Mallorca. And the starting 11 we are taking into the Champions League final is absolutely outstanding. 2 90 rated players in our starting 11 in Marmol and Fruck, and pretty much everyone in the side is above 81 rated besides Teresiano. This is an amazing team. We've also got a very strong bench as well, lad. Only 2 players below 80 rated with the likes of Navarro and Mafio 84 rated. Now this season, once again, Luimo Boas Santos got 36 goals and 16 assists, including 23 in La Liga. He has been outstanding. Patewu, Fruck and Fernandez all scored a hatful of goals. Our front 4 did all the scoring. We just need them to keep up this good run of form, lads, in the Champions League final against Frankfurt. So Wembley Stadium is the venue for the Champions League final. It's a shame that we're not an English side. Let's take a look at Frankfurt's team. They've got the likes of Moise Kean, an 80 rated player, 85, 84, 83, 86, 85, 81, 85, 80, 86. I can't lie, lads. Our team is so much better than Frankfurt's. If we don't win this game, it's going to be a bit embarrassing. Get a foot in. Get a foot in. Nope. What a save, man. Come on, man. And at least we've got a goal kick out of it. Back stick. Good cross here and we've scored. A good cross here and we've scored. And of course, it goes offside. Of course. Come on. What we're doing? What a clearance that were from my player. Lope, nice. Let's football. Look at that for football. Patewu. 1-0 to Mallorca, boys. What a finish by Abdul Patewu. The one-touch football on display. Beautiful one-touch football. And what a finish from Abdul Patewu right into the top corner. 1-0 to Mallorca. Get a foot in there, you silly man. Chance on Moise Kean there, straight after scoring. Boys, I really wish I could bring you some highlights. This game has been boring. And that is half time, boys. 1-0 to Mallorca. I have to admit, not many chances at all in this half. And I'm really struggling to get a good highlights package for you guys to watch. Brook. Fatewu's in. Oh, what a save by Lunin. Could have sealed the game there. Fernandez. Backstick. Oh, my God. Oh dear, Thomas could be away here. Oh, he's completely away. He is completely away. Oh my God, goal on the counter-attack to Frankfurt. Thiago Thomas, the substitute who's just come on. Nothing I could do, lads. His pace were just far too much for us. Tried bringing the keeper out to just throw him off a little bit. Great finish in the end by Thomas. Fernandez, into the middle. Fruck, in space. Oh, he's dragged it wide. Oh no. Good ball here and we score. Teresiano! It's in! What a finish on the fullback! And within 10 minutes of Frankfurt equalising, we have retaken the lead from the most unlikeliest of sources. Cross-whipped in, it's a poor clearance, and Teresiano brings it down and fires it into the side netting. What a finish! Got a foot in. Good save by Ziegler. Lope. What a ball by Dion Lope. Patewu. Select. Oh, what a tackle by Robin Koch. Oh, no. Keane. Thank God for that. Get it. Ziegler. 4 minutes on the clock. Brook. Fernandez. Oh, this could be it. Square it. That's a poor ball, but Buimo Santos. He's missed. Oh my God, he's missed in the last minute. But it doesn't matter because there is the full-time whistle. It's been dramatic, boys, but Mallorca win the Champions League final, beating Frankfurt 2-1. Thank God that is over. And now all that is left to do, boys, is lift the Champions League trophy, and Micah Marmol will do the honours. It's been a long one, boys, and Real Mallorca are the champions of Europe, and that is another rebuild successfully boxed off. And I think for today's video, Luimo Boas Santos has to be the inductee to the Hall of Fame. He has been incredible. Just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, lads. If you have enjoyed it, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. And I will see you next week for a realistic rebuild decided by you.